Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us and every week we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening? Same thing here. End of summer blues, getting into the
Blues.
end of summer always.
End of
for
summer
you.
excitement. I love the
For
fall.
you, it's
Anyways.
countdown.
Fall's my favorite. Fall's my favorite season. We went over that. Horror movies start up in about a week and a half for me, so I'm excited.
Yep. Let's jump into the show. We are going to talk about first D23, the end of the weekend last weekend, and Marvel and Disney and Star Wars and just Disney in general had a whole bunch of announcements we're going to talk about. First off, here's some figures I saw. Muppet Babies coming out with some figures. We talk about Muppet Babies every once in a while. It was a underrated show back in the day. I did enjoy it. And Matt Groening, they had a Simpsons thing there, and Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, confirmed that they are reviving and remastering the Simpsons Hit and Run game.
That game was
which
awesome.
is one of the most underrated games ever.
I mean,
awesome game.
It was just a crazy taxi ripoff, but it was really good.
There's one that came out after it. It was like GTA. That one was even better. I can't remember what the name of that one was, but yeah. But sometime in some form, he says it's going to come back. So we'll have to wait and see. We're not huge fans of the Kingdom Hearts series, but it is going to be into a TV series coming out on Disney Plus. Kingdom Hearts is a video game series that's been out for quite a while. I think, and there's a brand new one coming out. They announced that as well. But they're going to make a whole entire TV series coming out on Disney, and I know it includes all of the Disney characters. I believe they brought in some Star Wars characters since Disney owns them now. It's like Disney Universe, and I can't remember the other game company that's involved in this. Square Enix, I believe it is. But yeah, they're gonna make a series of that. And then some movie announcements. Coco 2. I love the first Coco movie. They're making a sequel to it, coming out in 2029. And the kid in that movie, they're actually going to show him growing up, which is usually odd in these Disney movies. They don't usually show the kids or anyone growing up. The kids from The Incredibles are 25 years older, but they still look the same as they do in the first Incredibles movie. And yeah, there's going to be also, speaking of that, a third Incredibles movie coming out. They did announce that. And there's a picture of the villain there on the right. Let's see what else we got. Brand new looks of the new live action Tangled. I enjoyed the first Tangled animated. Not a huge fan of the live action movies. There's a couple exceptions to that, but just don't stand a candle to what the animation did years ago for most of these live action remakes. Frozen 3 also getting a remake, getting a sequel. Exciting. Like the first one, didn't like the second one as much. And let's get into the Star Wars of it all, what we're here for, main event. Dave Filoni on the red carpet for interviews at the end said they are not making a Hunt for Ben Solo movie currently, and there's always been rumors of that movie being put on hold from Disney, and that everybody loved the idea of it, but the old regime denied it. I think it was Bob Iger was the one that was pretty much against it, and bringing in what's his name to play Ben Solo,
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, Kylo Ren. Everybody wants to see it, so I don't know. And it's supposed to be a sequel to the sequel trilogy, so I don't know. Not happening right now. And they did reveal a trailer for Star Wars Starfighter, including the poster. Trailer has leaked online, but it got scrubbed pretty quickly. Ryan Gosling came out on the stage with his old Mickey Mouse Club uniform from the 90s, his old beat up Letterman jacket.
Yep.
And then he traded that jacket for a jacket that was themed more for the Starfighter movie. So yeah, I cannot wait for that new Star Wars movie coming out next May. And finally for Star Wars, this did get released online. The trailer for Ahsoka season 2 looks awesome.
Looks really good. Looks really
comes out an official date January 20th. So we only got about 5 months to wait for that. So cannot wait for that. Going into the animated side on Marvel, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Official date, I believe, is in January, but we got some new first looks of that as well. Some updated looks of some villains we saw in the first season, updated Spider-Man costume. These are more online with what looks like the comic books. And also in this season, the symbiote is going to be playing a gigantic part, and Peter's going to be taking on the symbiote at some point. And I don't think I have it here, but I have it later on. Eddie Brock shows up, and there's going to be a whole saga with that as well. So, and finally, in the Marvel side, Marvel did show up, and they did announce a couple more things that wasn't announced at Comic-Con. Kevin Feige took the stage, and they showed some new footage with Paul Bettany of Vision Quest, the finale of the WandaVision trilogy of series. And they brought out a new poster, new trailer came out online, looked awesome. And basically it's Vision creating his own mansion in this world, or in his mind, of all kinds of different robots of the past. We talked about it last week. The very first Human Torch could be a part of this series in the promotional art that was shown on stage, of the flaming guy in a big, huge framed picture. And the original Human Torch, we talked about him before, but so yeah, bringing him, and not only him, first of all, bringing back Ultron, and bringing back James Spader to play Ultron in live action and in Ultron form with the robot form as well. And all of the robots in the past of Spider-Man are coming back as well, including Friday, Jarvis, You, and Dummy, the robot that Tony Stark used in his workshop to make all the stuff, and they're coming up with human counterparts in the picture on the right there. So cannot wait for that. I do love WandaVision. I even liked Agatha all along, so I'm sure I'll love this as well. And they're going to be introducing Speed, who is the brother of Tommy, who we are a brother. I think Tommy is the one that we met in Agatha all along, who played Wiccan. So, and setting up what we know eventually is going to be the Young Avengers, probably in Secret Wars or beyond. So cannot wait for that. And one of the main events was Doom. Dr. Doom sitting on the throne, and they did release the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, which looked amazing, and we already know most of that trailer was Dr. Doom showing everybody, pretty much proving that, number one, that he has a history with the Fantastic Four, came from their universe, and that at the very end, the last scene of this trailer, he makes all of these dead Sentinels rise up, takes his power, uses his power to makes them rise and attack everybody all the Avengers that are attacking him. So trailer looked awesome. Before the trailer was revealed, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, behind the scenes filming him, posted a short video message asking the Russos to add them to the movie in post production, hinting to all the leaks and everything that we know about Deadpool and Wolverine maybe being in the beginning of this movie with Tobey Maguire. So yeah, hopefully that happens. We'll have to wait and see. But the big main event of this was what we all speculated, what we all knew that couldn't be done until this because of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Kevin Feige brought out Sadie Sink, revealed her character is Jean Grey, and then announced that the X-Men movie is coming out May 5th of 2028 after Secret Wars. And there's a new logo of it there. Oh, that's Hugh Jackman. Here's a new logo of it here. Oh, that's Doomsday. Here's a new logo of it here. And here is the cast of X-Men, what we know so far. Joining the cast officially, Kit Connor, we announced him last week as Cyclops. Indy Neveretti, who is going to be playing Rogue. Internet has had a field day with that this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Samara Weaving, also cast as Emma Frost, the older actress of this whole bunch of new actors. Makes a lot of people speculate that she's going to be a teacher, which she does get her start in the comic books as a teacher. And her whole in the comic books, her whole entire classroom gets killed. And that's what creates her rise to become a villain. Hatred of humans, hatred of everything. And she joins the Hellfire Club and all that stuff. Not sure what of that we're going to see in this movie, but I'm wondering if they're going to bring her on in as a teacher in this new school that they're developing. And also newcomer, we didn't have any idea who this was. She's a Broadway actor. Her name is Maya Boyd, and she is playing Storm, a younger Storm. And Christopher Abbott won out for the role of Professor Xavier. I know I've seen him in something, and it may have been Girls. I've seen one season of Girls, but that's what he's mostly notable for is the show Girls on HBO. But he won out from everybody else. And I know Bill Skarsgård was in line for this. There's a few other actors that were in line for Professor X, but he won. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And the big news was Adam Driver finally cast in the MCU. Hinted and joked that he's going to be playing Magneto. He's like, oh, wait. No, he's playing Nathan, whatever his name is, Mr. Sinister. And Mr. Sinister is a villain that has not been on screen, was going to be in the last X-Men movie, the bad X-Men movie. I can't remember the name of it. But that
Dark
never
Phoenix?
happened. No, the one it wasn't X-Men, it was the I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It was the last one that came out. Came out during COVID. It was like one of the last Fox properties.
No, with
I think Disney.
the one with
teens.
the one with Arya Stark. Yeah, and the kid from Stranger Things. Okay.
Yep.
It was
the
filmed
very
like
end
2
of that.
years before it released. Okay, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, Disney released it. The very end of that, I believe it's New Mutants.
Okay.
The very end of that, there's a post-credit scene or something that teases the Essex Corporation, which is Nathaniel Essex is basically is Mr. Sinister, and that was going to be the villain. And John Hamm was cast as Nathaniel Essex, who was going to play Mr. Sinister. Did not go transition into the Disney version. Adam Driver took the role. But basically, Mr. Sinister has been a character that has been around since the beginning. And he is from the 1800s, clones himself, and one of his clones becomes Mr. Sinister. And he's obsessed with genetics and obsessed with mutations. And he ends up creating, in the comic books and in X-Men 97, he ends up creating the clone of Jean Grey, Madeline Pryor, and she ends up having an affair with Scott Summers, and that's how Cable's born. There's a whole story to that. Not sure we're getting that, but we did get it in X-Men 97 last season. So, and what else we got? So, the big, and of course, Sadie Sink's in that cast as Jean Grey, but most of these actors are from Broadway. Not in musicals, but just acted in Broadway. Every single one of them pretty much has been on Broadway in some shape or form. So I'm guessing that's basically what they're looking for, is just acting actors. So very exciting to hear that.
Who work cheap.
They work cheap too. They're unknowns. I thought I do on the left here, but there's them and their comic book counterparts there on the left. Yeah, I'm excited for it. The Indy Neveretti thing is Rogue. I know a lot of people are kind of mixed on that. They were hoping for Kaylee Spaney, but we have some news at the end of the show about that as well. I think she's going to be great as Rogue. And it's a great introduction to the character because the MCU version of Rogue has so much more potential than what the Fox version could handle. The Fox version could never fly because there wasn't an equivalent character in the X-Men universe that had flying powers that Rogue could steal. And in the comic book, she steals those powers from Captain Marvel. And everybody wants her to murk Captain Marvel and steal those powers in the MCU, which I am excited to hopefully see eventually. And I think in the comic book, she puts Captain Marvel in a coma for like 10 years or something like that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on all that. But very exciting time for MCU. And I believe there may be some more announcements coming soon on casting. We'll get into that at the end. But my speculation would probably be New York Comic Con in October or November, whenever that happens. But let's get into what we watched this week. We watched the premiere of Lanterns. What an awesome fucking show.
And apparently so did a lot of other people.
And a lot of other people too.
Great show.
Those are the posters. Yeah, those are the posters for it. There's the poster that was released on Tuesday of the Sheriff. It raked up 9.3 million views in the first 3 days. The biggest premiere for DC Studios. One of the top 5 biggest premieres of all time in HBO Max history. Outperformed It, Welcome to Derry, The Penguin, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, True Detective, Night Country, one of the sequels to that. It was an awesome introduction to the character. Spoiler for the next 30 seconds. The most volatile thing from this show, is the last scene of this show showing Hal Jordan with a bullet through his head, killed, supposedly. And it also introduced Manhunters in this episode as well. So there is a lot of fuckery could be going on here that we don't really realize yet. But a lot of people are pissed because they killed a character that hadn't given enough, a beloved character that hadn't been given enough history to. But the show just started. People, calm the fuck down. First episode of 8. We have plenty of history to tell here. I hear 3rd episode is fantastic. 7th episode is fantastic.
I think I heard
lucky people have seen all 8. But
5th, no, nobody's seen all 8.
Okay,
they've only shown 7. I heard the 5th is the best one for it being a Lantern show. Like it's like the most Lantern episode is the 5th one I heard.
Okay,
whatever that means. I'm guessing maybe they go to outer space or something like that. I don't know, but I heard the 5th one is also fantastic. Or it might have been the 4th, like you mentioned. But yeah.
Yeah, I heard 3rd and 7th. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait. Weekly Sunday nights. We'll talk about that next week. Another show. I laughed this whole entire season of Tires. I love Tires. First 2 seasons were great. The writing in this season was phenomenal. It reminded me a lot of The Office. I laughed. There's episode 2 reminded me of The Office in season 2, where there was just one episode from the beginning to the end. I laughed right out the gate.
Nice.
Second episode of this series, this season was awesome. Tires on Netflix right now. It's basically a tire shop set like The Office, where it's this, of course, starring Shane Gillis and a couple of his friends from comedy that are starring with him. But yeah, great show on Netflix. Everybody watch it. It's funny as hell. Ted Lasso, another great show. Back in Richmond, Ted's trying to run the corporation over there, doing a great job. Brought in Beard finally. So yeah, love that show. Talk about that every once in a while if there's anything major happens. But Stewart saves the universe, kind of the weak episode of the season so far. Loving the show though. It's a good quick show. It's like 20-minute episodes, so it's nothing much, but yeah, renewed for a 2nd season. So yeah. And Reacher, episode 4, another great episode. Loving this season. In Philadelphia and Washington DC, loving the cast. Whole bunch of twists and turns. So yeah, cannot wait to see that every week. Dark Side of the Ring, episode 8. You have a chance to watch Missy Hyatt.
Yes. Very good.
I did not know anything about her. I mean, she's basically
I knew about her from WCW because that was before you watched WCW.
Yeah.
But they were doing the WWF stuff, and I was like, I don't, for the life of me, remember her being in that company for a second. And then you come to find out that none of the stuff she ever filmed aired. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, she had a falling out with the company and left. But Dark Side of the Ring, great show. 1 episode left next week. Talking about Missy Hyatt. She was a pinup, calendars, everything. She was basically Sunny of the 80s, and then Sunny came and took her spotlight. But she was in, like you mentioned, she was in WWF. She was in WCW mainly. And then when she left there, because she was dating Jason Hervey from the Wonder Years, friends of Eric Bischoff, she had a falling out with him with jealousy, and Eric Bischoff ended up firing her. And she ended up going to ECW, and a lot of people know her from that. And she had a run with the Sandman in there, Steven Richards. I remember a little bit of that, but I never watched it. I just heard about it. So I always thought she was an ECW wrestler or ECW performer. But the other thing I did not realize she was in charge of, which I remember in the early 2000s, was WrestlingVixens.com, which is where a whole bunch, I think her and Sunny and a few other wrestling women but almost like OnlyFans of that day, back in the day, for OnlyFans. And she actually ran the website, and they didn't get paid a lot of money, but they put all their pictures online. People stole them, and people like us, kids like us, used to steal them in high school. Didn't pay a dime for this website, so it went under pretty quick. She fell into drugs like everybody at that time, especially in the ECW arena. Jesus. You hear the stories of what was going on back there.
She's a recovering addict, and she goes to ECW. Really bad place to be.
Yeah, falls into that crowd, and she was on drugs and ended up running around her house naked out in the front lawn, having a mental breakdown, and ended up getting out of all of that. And she looks completely different now. Of course, aged tremendously, but yeah, great story for someone I didn't really know much about, other than I knew the name. I knew what she kind of looked like.
Interesting.
But I didn't know. Great story.
Like I said, I knew her from early WCW when that was on like TBS at whatever time, 6:05.
Yeah.
And I knew she was in. And this is probably mainly due to the amount of shoot interviews I've watched over the years, that she was in like the other territories, like back in the 80s.
Yeah. So only movie I watched this week, I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but if you haven't, you definitely should. The Louder Than Fear Travis Barker documentary on Hulu. You have a chance to watch that?
No, I did not. I got to get Hulu again, though. I was just thinking about that the other night.
It's
on the Plex. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I do want to get Hulu because I love Hulu, and I just haven't had time to watch anything this summer. So
it is an awesome documentary. Talks about pretty much, it followed him, I think, from 2017 to now. And it also the aftermath of the plane crash with him and DJ AM, and when DJ AM ended up killing himself with a drug overdose. Talks about the aftermath of that and what it did to him, and how drums was kind of the thing that saved him. Amazing documentary, awesome documentary on Hulu. The Kardashians are a little bit a part of it, if you can get over that part. But other than that, great documentary.
Cool. And, I'll check it out.
He's been through a lot of shit in his life, a lot of trauma. So yeah, very, very good. If you like Blink 182, there's members of that are part of it too. So, with that being said, let's jump into let me get my shit together. Let's jump into the news. And it's not news time of the Trailer Roundup. Zack Snyder's back at it. The Last Photograph.
Oh boy. Okay. So this looks really good. I was excited to see online. It looks interesting. Something he hasn't done ever. I'm very interested.
Straight drama. Nothing sci-fi fantasy about it.
Yeah, no sci-fi, no team up, no comic booky. But for some reason, instead of people talking about this movie, that certain side of the segment is talking about how Rebel Moon had better numbers on Netflix than The Lanterns on HBO. But anyways, I digress. I think this looks really good. I can't wait to see it. I don't know if I should wait for the 4-hour director's cut that will release eventually or not. Just kidding. But I'm just glad to see Zach's back at it. I don't think it even has a distributor yet, though, does it? Like he literally wrote it, directed it, he did all the cinematography, he did it all himself. Similar to the Rebel Moon movie, so that could go sideways fast. But it's a completely different story, and it is based on a book, I believe.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I'm interested. Maybe this is the project that he was meeting with A24 about, which if it was, I wouldn't be shocked because this looks like an A24 type release.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. I just wish more Snyder fans were excited for it too, because I'm glad he's back doing movies like passion projects. Because I don't know, I like Zach.
Yeah, he got sucked into the DC world, and of course stuck into Star Wars, and then came up with Rebel Moon, which were not great movies.
No, they were not great. I mean, the R-rated cuts were a little better, but they still weren't good. But I'm really looking forward to The Last Photograph, and like we said, it's completely different than anything he's done. At least it looks completely different than anything he's done. It's like when he went out and he randomly made that animated Owls of Ga'Hoole movie. But that was before he was the Zack Snyder that he is now.
Yeah. And another documentary coming out. Not a lot of trailers this week. The last thing we're going to talk about is a new documentary coming out I believe on Netflix. Yep, Netflix, called Untold Mr. T, I Pitied the Fool. All about Mr. T. All about the 80s and him and obsession with him. I love Mr. T, so I cannot wait for this. Comes out September 8th. So very excited for that. Box office last week, Spider-Man for the third week, number 1, $70 million. Odyssey, fifth week, 23. And opening last weekend, the end of Oak Street, number 3 with 21 million. Considering that a failure, I'm hearing great things about it. So
I really want to see that movie. I really want to see that movie. But then again, at this point, a movie's out for 2 weeks and I haven't seen it in the theater. I'm probably just gonna wait. Because it'll be out online probably. Not long. It's August 21st now. I'm gonna say by September 10th.
Yeah,
it'll be probably online.
Right. Yep. Spider-Man: Brand New Day officially passed $2 billion worldwide. The second fastest film to pass this milestone. I believe the first one was Avengers Endgame. Odyssey grossed $1.3 billion as of August 20th, topping Deadpool, Wolverine, Joker, and Nolan's Oppenheimer, making it the biggest R-rated film of all time. Odyssey, great movie.
Can you do me a favor? Before I forget about it, because I'm still at work and I'm in the work mode. If you see a link on Amazon for the Odyssey Steelbook 4K, just send it to me. Because I miss that stuff all the time. So if you see that, let me know, because that's definitely Nolan's one of the reasons why I bought a 4K player, because I wanted to collect all of Nolan's movies in 4K. So I want to get the Steelbook if you come across it. Supergirl Steelbook was available before the movie even came out in theaters on Amazon. So they play very coy when it comes to Christopher Nolan stuff. So just let me know if it comes across your lap.
Yeah, I will. Getting into a major death this week. Way too young. Her birthday is actually today. She would have been 37 years old. Rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere. She was in, of course, the Scream franchise recently. Probably the last thing that she's going to be known for, but I know her from, and a lot of people know her from Heroes. Save the Cheerleader, Save the World. And that was a phenomenon. Like 2006, 2007, whenever that came out. That was everybody
another
was
thing
saying.
That was, and that was a show that was killed by the writer's strike, unfortunately.
It was.
Some shows like Friday Night Lights kind of bounced back, but this show got canceled because the second season was so bad, right? It didn't get a third. Didn't they do a spinoff? They do a spinoff?
No, it had 5. It had 4 or 5 seasons, and it had a spinoff too.
Oh, what that long? Okay.
Oh yeah.
But the first season is the one that everyone talks about. Yeah.
Yeah. The ratings were bad. First season is one of the best seasons of television ever. As far as just the story of telling Skylar and her and the premonition that she's going to have her brains ripped out by Skylar. Amazing story. She was also in the Bring It On franchise. She had a lot of history. She was married to Klitschko, the boxer. They had a kid together. I think she's 11 years old now, so she left the kid, which sucks. And they're saying it could be drugs, which is even worse for someone her age. Because we've lost a lot of people to drugs in our lexicon of people that we love from wrestling and Hollywood.
Yeah.
It just sucks that could happen.
You watched the 1992 Royal Rumble, and I think out of 30
Yeah.
people, like 21 are dead.
Yep, it sucks, but yeah, rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere. I hope whoever, if anybody administered heroin or anything to her, I hope they get prosecuted. I know the DEA is in the investigation, but they found Narcan next to her body or in the same vicinity of her body. So I hope whoever they investigate for all this gets prosecuted, because it's sad that we lost somebody. She was very talented. She's a great actress. Didn't get a lot of love later in life, but she was great in Heroes and great in the stuff that I've seen her in. So rest in peace to her. Peacock, upping the price just like everybody else, unfortunately. Their highest premium of the year was for the annual $169.99 for Peacock Premium Plus, now going up to a penny short of $200, $199.99. $19.99 a month if you want to pay that much for Peacock Premium. That's Premium Plus, that includes ad free and all that. The Peacock Premium was $10.99 going up to $12.99, $129.99 a month. And the new entry level select plan, which is not a lot of stuff, just I think Peacock exclusives, like if you want to watch Ted or whatever else comes out exclusive on there, now costs $8.99 a month, up $1. So up between $1 and $5 a year for all of the tiers, $4 a year. So it sucks. And we're getting priced, especially someone like me, just a mid to low income family, is getting pushed out of streaming, getting pushed out of stuff that was affordable 5 years ago.
It really is. Like, I always talk about, like, it's streaming type of thing. Like, something comes on Netflix, you get it for like a month, and you drop something else, vice versa. Like, but now it really truly is at that point. Which sucks, because something like Peacock, I love watching like Psych-On. And there's different, like, Paramount to me is honestly one of the better streamers, because you get so much backlog of like South Park, and you get live TV on Paramount with CBS. All your Patriots games are there. It does suck. I mean, there are affordable tiers, but still, at the end of the day, like, you're paying for an affordable tier, like say $11 per streaming service. That adds up to, anywhere between $60 and $80 a month if you have most of them. So to me, I don't know about you, but like HBO is one I'll probably keep. For
I get it for free.
You get
it for
free.
HBO with AT&T, so yeah.
And for me, it's worth paying for. Hulu is something I'll get in the winter, probably when like Hell's Kitchen is on, something like that. I'll get for Hulu. But I mean, for the most part, like Peacock, I only have because I had it for $20 a year, and then I was like going to cancel, and they're like, "Well, we'll give you another year for like half off." So I paid like $40. So I'm like, to me, that was worth it. Whatever, $40 up front. But yeah, I don't know. I think HBO is just the one that's really worth keeping because it has all the DC stuff. For you, obviously, you get it for free. Paramount's really good for like football because, like I said, all the Patriots games are there, and plus you get all the Taylor Sheridan stuff for now on there. Streaming, it sucks.
I think the biggest thing for Paramount for me is Dexter.
Dexter. I
get that.
Another one.
I get that with my Walmart Plus, so I don't pay for that either. I have Instacart, which I don't ever use, but it was a deal with Peacock for $99.99 or $99 a year. You get Instacart and you get Peacock. So I said, oh, that's no brainer. Get that. But yeah, I don't use Instacart ever. So maybe next year I won't renew. I don't know. But yeah, it sucks having to try to figure that out. Cinemark has joined AMC Regal in supporting the Paramount Warner Brothers merger. So the theater companies, for some reason, are forward. I don't know what that's all about. You can speculate all you want, but it's crazy how this is going to be delayed.
I still think Zaslav's going to take that $7 billion cash out next June and put it back on the market, and Netflix will end up with it.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's still a very big possibility, especially because, from what I've heard, Ben Affleck's already signed on to be in Justice League 2 and whatnot. So,
Columbia House. If you grew up in the 90s, 80s, if you grew up even in the early 2000s, Columbia House was huge. You get these flyers in the mail announcing you can get 12 cassettes or 8 CDs for a penny. Only 1 penny. And sometimes you just tape the penny to an envelope.
Did you ever have it?
Put it in.
Did you ever
Of
have
course I did.
Okay,
Of
I
course I
couldn't
did.
remember. Yeah.
And I'm still in like 90% of America who had Columbia House. I'm still in Columbia House debt from back in the day because I never paid them off. But basically, what it was is you'd get these CDs for free or for a penny, but you were obligated to buy maybe one a month, I think, or 5 CDs at their regular price, which is a lot more than what you would pay at Best Buy. It's like $24.99 to $29.99 per CD, but you had to buy like 5 of them. So they ended up recouping their money. Plus, the company that was selling them were also the company that were making the records, and was the record company, is Columbia.
Right.
Columbia. So they were getting their Columbia artists out there on the cheap, but people were getting the CDs. So I still have a few of them that I got back in the day when I started to first get CDs in the early 2000s, late 90s. But going out of business, shutting down after 71 years. They started off doing records and 8 tracks, cassettes, and went into CDs and in the 90s and the early 2000s. I believe DVDs became a part of this as well. I don't know if the Columbia House did that, but I know another company did. But yeah, going out of business. Surprised they lasted this long. I know they went bankrupt a couple of times, but re-upped and everything. But yeah, finally going out of business. So rest in peace to Columbia House. Finally happened. We just mentioned it last week. That how is it that Welcome to Derry has not been renewed yet? Well, it did get renewed this week. Welcome to Derry season 2 is happening, and the tagline for it is season 2 takes place in 1935.
Wasn't it last week you just mentioned how there wasn't an announcement for it, and then
we
came
did
out like a few days later? Yeah.
Yeah. During the Great Depression, and centers on the bloody massacre of the Bradley Gang, a group of bank robbers who stop in Derry to buy ammo.
This time period. So,
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. They hinted to this in the first season, the Bradley Gang massacre. Bradley Gang massacre. They show the car coming out of the ground. That's from that, bullet holes in it. So I cannot wait for season 2. I'm so
one thing I really
excited.
like about the quote unquote It universe, similar to what actually attracts me to like Game of Thrones, is the lore. Like a lot of people think it's like the killing of the dragons or the fantasy, but for me, like Game of Thrones, just a lot of it's like the lore, like the fake history. For it's very similar, where like they'll just drop like a line here and there about stuff, especially if you read the book. And now we're actually going to see the stuff they talk about, which is awesome.
Yeah. And the series is set to be 3 seasons. Not sure. Hopefully it'll continue to the end, but there is so much more they could do with the series if they wanted to go even back further, another 27 years. They can go in the 1800s, 1700s. They can go as far as they want.
They can go forward if they want, but
they can go forward.
Yeah, they could go forward. They can do anything. Yeah,
I think as far as going forward, if they ever go past the It movie, I think that would be a Stephen King book first before it ever became a series.
Right, and he'll
Stephen King made a sequel to It. I don't think he ever will. Yeah.
He would have to. I don't think he would do a book, but I could see him doing like the story of it, like the basis of the story, doing it that way. But I don't think he could ever.
He could do it like Dark Tower.
Yeah, you could.
You do it like Dark Tower and make the comic book series of it.
Dark Tower should have been something fucking incredible. Instead, we got what we got. Like, the books are like that should have been like a Game of Thrones type universe, and they fucked it up on the first movie.
Well, it's going to be a series. I think Mike Flanagan's in charge of it. So I can't wait to see what happens with that. So, Deli Boys, a show that's on Hulu. I think I watched one episode, wasn't too impressed with it. Surprised it's been on for 2 seasons. It has been canceled on Hulu. So Deli Boys. First episode was okay. It was funny, but it wasn't worth getting into. BBC adapting a new novel. I love time travel fuckery. That's why I'm mentioning it. Called The Ministry of Time. TV series. Basically, the tagline is government department that deals with time travel exploration. After earning a promotion at work, Sophie, is the protagonist, is assigned to a time traveler, polar explorer who's trying to get used to living in the modern world. So, Victorian stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I love time travel fuckery, so keep an eye on that in the BBC. The cast of Sons of Anarchy are coming back together, but not for Sons of Anarchy and not a reunion of that show, but for a show called Legends. And it's all going to be the entire cast, including Charlie Hunnam, Katie Seagal, Ron Perlman, but as actors in a Comic-Con. And it's going to be in real universe. of a fan convention, and an actual real world threat happens. They have to come together to try to stop it. I hope it's a comedy. That's the only way something like this is going to work. But it does sound interesting, and I had never even watched Sons of Anarchy. So, yeah, interesting. Waiting that. Brand new pictures of Dexter Resurrection Season 2. And as you can see, Dexter is working as an analyst again for some police department, and you can see Harrison there as well. So, not sure what's happening here. Cannot wait for Season 2. That'll happen sometime probably in the beginning of next year. So, cannot wait. And a brand new poster for a movie coming out in a couple of weeks called Mayday with Ryan Reynolds and Kenneth Branagh. I don't remember the trailer for this, but yeah, I don't know much about it. But coming out with no real promotion other than a couple of posters here. I believe a quick trailer here or there, but yeah, cannot wait. I love Ryan Reynolds. David Krumholtz just had a starring role in Supergirl as Supergirl's father. Said he's putting his acting career on hold after decades in Hollywood. Taking a break. David Krumholtz's been in a whole bunch of stuff. I remember him early on from the Santa Claus movie. Of course, a awesome role in Superbad. With not Seth,
for me,
but,
the thing that I'm always gonna associate with him is the show Numbers when that was on in the early 2000s, I think, or whatever. That show was so good for like the first 2 or 3 seasons. I loved it. One of those like CSI type shows, but he like was like a fucking, I don't know. I guess he'd be considered autistic nowadays, but yeah, he was awesome in the show.
Yeah, but he's basically blaming just how Hollywood is and how hard it is to get into it and stay in it. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be back. It's just kind of him ranting, but yeah, love him. Michael Jackson 2 going to happen. Jafar Jackson talking about it, says that there'll be more insight into the child abuse allegations from his point of view. So obviously we're going to get a watered down version of that compared to what people are looking for. They're looking for a trial. And
It's going to piss everyone off again.
It's going to piss everybody off even more.
It's going to piss everyone off, and it's probably going to be fantastic. So fuck them.
Because it's the family version of it. So the family's obviously going to be on Michael's side. So brand new looks of the Beatles movie, the Sam Mendes Beatles movie. All the cast filming on Abbey Road, flipping off the cameras there. So yeah, I cannot wait for that. All the cast looks awesome there. Up down to Paul Pascal with the bare feet. That's awesome. Star Wars.
What's his name though? The Joker still looks like he has a weird ass face even with all that makeup on.
Yeah. Hayden Christensen's opening to making a live-action Star Wars Clone Wars show, bringing everybody back. And he says, "I know that Ewan McGregor would love to do more with it. I've heard Natalie Portman would love to come back. Sam Jackson. So you could get the band back together. So yeah, that'd be interesting if they ever did a live-action Clone Wars. I know they have flashbacks in Ahsoka.
The Clone Wars is weird to me. I think a lot of people hold it in such high regard because of nostalgia. Because it's very. Like, I watched it much later than everyone else. Like, I wasn't a child when I watched it. Plus, it didn't come out when I was a child. But, like, a lot of people refer to it as, like, the, like, magnum opus, I guess, of George Lucas's career. Because it made the... No, because of how popular it was to them when they were kids. Like, that's, like, their Star Wars. They all like the prequels more than the original trilogy. Like, that generation of Star Wars fans. So they all regard the Clone Wars in such a high regard, and... It's so hit or miss. Like, it's like 3 seasons before anything really good happens.
Yeah. Popcorn buckets. Talk about popcorn buckets. We got new Star Trek. Number one, these movies they're not even movie popcorn buckets anymore. They're just stuff coming out. Star Trek having a 60th anniversary, coming out with popcorn buckets. I don't even think Star Trek's going into theaters. And I know Batman isn't going into theaters. I know Batman 66 isn't, and they're coming out with a Batmobile popcorn bucket from Batman 66. So it kind of looks cool because it comes with a bat signal on the front of it, a bat signal light. But again, movies aren't coming out; they're just releasing random buckets now. So that's weird. I saw another one. It's a D20 dice with Dungeons and Dragons promoted popcorn buckets like that. There's not even Dungeons and Dragon anything coming out in the theaters, so I don't know. Let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
If you're a fan of sparkling vampires, Twilight's coming out with new Funko Pops. Twilight from back 15 years ago. I guess everybody loves those movies. A lot of girls love those movies. But, of course, Edward Cullen, Charlie, the father of Bella. So, yeah, interesting.
Who is Robert Pattinson?
If you like,
is that Edward?
Robert Pattinson's Edward, yeah.
Okay.
If you love brooding vampires, you can get the Lost Boys figures from the movie Lost Boys. The first looks of those as well.
Good movie.
And with Doomsday, got brand new looks of the Iron Studios, I believe, figures. First off, we got Cyclops here and Thor. First look of Nightcrawler with the swords from the comic books in X-Men 97. Looks awesome. And Beast. And another official look of Gambit. These statues look awesome. And together with Professor Xavier and Doom and Magneto, I think these are going to look awesome on someone's shelf. Not this one, not this someone, but someone's. And McFarlane Gold Label coming out with some figures. We got Catwoman, Bane, Robin, and Doomsday from the Doomsday comics of the 90s. Looks awesome. And Batman and Robin from the Batman 66 Classic Series. McFarlane figures coming out as well. Looks awesome. And Lego officially announced this awesome Lego Batman Returns Batmobile that turns into a bat missile, which is awesome. I always love that from that movie, how the Batmobile loses the sides and becomes a missile in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Not practical other than going through small alleys, but I always love the visual of it in the movie. And of course, the Batman figure that has a huge head that can't turn with the cape looks awesome too.
Are you buying that for yourself for your birthday?
Not for my birthday, no. But I would love it though. I haven't had a good Lego set in a while, so yeah, I love that. And a Galactus figure from Fantastic Four First Steps coming out, double size, right next to the 6-scale Thing figure, which is a big figure in itself. This thing, I don't know how tall it is, but it's huge. It comes with little mini figures of the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer too. So, looks awesome. We talked about it last week that all these pictures from the Amazing Spider-Man movie, I think the last 2 weeks we talked about it, are leaking from the third one that was supposed to come out, which was going to be the Sinister Six. There's another one that came out. I'm not sure why they're leaking now, but yeah, Spider-Man in some sort of a lab looking on to an explosion in the background. So, I mentioned it earlier. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is the first look of Eddie Brock with the blonde hair. And a Countdown to Avengers podcast coming out. Stay in your lane, Marvel. Coming out on Disney Plus on August 27th. Mon Villani, who plays Miss Marvel, hosting it. It's coming out on YouTube and Disney Plus, and I'm sure iTunes, Apple Podcasts. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll listen or watch that, but I'm sure we'll get some news from Doomsday, and they're going to break down the kind of a countdown of the movies leading up to that. So yeah, interesting. Yaya, who played Wonder Man, is talking out about Marvel, pretty much the optics of what it looks like to fire and get rid of all the black starring movies and TV shows of Disney Marvel. Saying the optics are obvious, it doesn't look good. With that and Blade, of course, the big one.
And I mean,
Marvel.
The rumor too, I remember at one point for Blade was that like Blade wasn't even going to be like the star; it was going to be like a lead-in for like his daughter or something. So I could see why that never got off the ground, which kind of sucks. Granted, that who knows if that's true or not. But with the Young Avengers stuff that was coming out at the time, I could see them pushing that narrative. But yeah, it does suck because he's a great actor. He got kind of screwed over in the DC universe. Well, not Mahershala, but the guy I can't pronounce the name of. Abdul Mateen. He's such a great actor. It sucks because, like, I mean, he could have been Kang. But we all know how it happened. Like, he would have been a great Kang. You know, but he's a great actor, and it sucks that Wonder Man doesn't seem like it's moving forward. And of course, we all love Mahershala Ali. He's a great actor, and it sucks that Blade isn't moving forward with him either. So yeah. Yeah,
Mahershala was great in Luke Cage too. He was
after he dies in Luke Cage, the show drops off a fucking cliff, like quality wise.
Yep. And I'm kind of hinted to it earlier when we were talking about the X-Men casting, but there are rumors of more casting happening. That was only partial partial point of the casting because we haven't seen Magneto. We know Magneto is probably going to be a big part of this. Magneto and Xavier are just like that. And rumors of who could be playing Magneto in X-Men. Reportedly being eyed for the role is Lee Pace, who's already been in the MCU. He played Ronan in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Henry Cavill, who's also already been in the MCU as Cavalrine, if you want to count that. And Matt Smith, who I love Matt Smith. I love him in Doctor Who. I love him in Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. I love him pretty much everything I've seen him in. Reportedly being eyed to play Magneto. Out of all of those, I love Matt Smith the most.
Yep.
I could see Henry Cavill being a part of this if they want to go that
all
route.
set on Henry Cavill. Make him Captain Britain. I could see it, but
that's what I would want to see.
I'd rather
see Captain Britain.
I'd rather somebody that doesn't act like a plank of wood and this is coming from somebody who loves Henry Cavill and sees every movie he's in. Out of those three, I'd say Matt Smith would probably be my lead if those are actually the three. I like Matt Smith a lot. He finally latched onto a good franchise with Game of Thrones. Obviously, Doctor Who, but I think the ratings for his stuff wasn't I heard they weren't great when he was Doctor Who. And then of course he was in Morbius, and that just flopped. So I'd like Matt Smith. I think he's a great actor. And Lee Pace is good too. I like Lee Pace.
Matt Smith's Doctor Who was one of the highest rated Doctor Who's, I think.
Yeah, but I mean,
believe his whole series.
I've heard a lot of people. I mean, I know you loved it, but it seemed like everyone talked about how he never really latched onto a franchise, even with Doctor Who, because he tried so many times after that. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Not actually ratings, but just I don't know.
I'd say, everybody. He's one of the most. Him and Tennant.
He was the first
actors of Who.
I knew Tennant was. He was the first one I think I heard of when it came to Doctor Who because of you, because you loved him as Doctor Who. But I don't see anybody talk about Doctor Who except for you.
There's one season with him that's amazing. Well, we're not in Britain either, and that's huge over there. The other rumored casting, which has been rumored for a while to be a part of this film, of course, she was rumored to be Rogue, but Kaylee Spaney did kind of hint to that as well. Rumored to be maybe taking a different role. My speculation is probably Mystique, although I'm not sure if they're going to go Mystique this time or not. But it could be anybody. There's a whole bunch of female characters. Kitty Pryde. There's a whole bunch of female characters in the X-Men universe. They haven't been in the movies yet. They could be a part of this. But, we'll have to wait and see if more casting news comes out on this. The rumor of the Magneto casting, they're saying that could be announced any day now. I'm not sure. But, we'll wait and see. And DC news. This was going to be the final thing until about an hour ago, but there's a very first look of the Batmobile on set filming the Batman Part 2. I do like that Batmobile. It does look really cool. I know you love that too, that new Batmobile. But, and finally in news, this was just announced about an hour and a half ago. The Jimmy Olsen series is officially titled The People versus Gorilla Grodd in the DCU. And all of the returning cast from the Superman movie are coming back. Jimmy Tatro of what the fuck is his name? Of the Burt Kreischer movie coming in to play Grodd. Grodd. I cannot wait. Also joining the cast, a few recognizable people there on the bottom right, but I don't know their names off the top of my head. But and James Gunn also talked about it, saying that it's the first thing that him and Peter Safran pitched to Warner Brothers before they even came on board. And he said it's going to be something truly special. So, cannot wait. This is going to be the next series, probably, if I were to guess, probably come out next year or the year after. Sometime in the next year and a half, I would think. So, very exciting time. Next week is not the first of the month. We were going to take off next week, but I was told before that we are not.
Yes.
So next week, we'll talk about Lanterns. We'll talk about Stuart fails to save the universe. We'll talk about the finale of Dark Side of the Ring. This is all about Zach Gowen. Were you watching wrestling with Zach Gowen at the time? 2006, 2007?
Not really. It was after I got back into it when Jericho came back in the late 07.
Right. Zach Gowen is a wrestler who has one leg.
Yes.
Grew up, I believe, with one leg. And Vince McMahon saw that and was like, let's make some money. And he did.
Was he an amateur wrestler?
He was an amateur wrestler. Yeah, he was kind of a skinny guy too.
Yeah.
And I
Brock
believe
Lesnar threw him down some stairs.
That's going to probably be a part of the documentary.
Yep.
So yeah, cannot wait for the finale on Zach Allen. Rachel, we'll talk about that. On the 27th, in 6 days, GTA is going to have a first look on Netflix, which has already leaked a lot online. So I'm not sure what we're going to be seeing, but I'm going to watch that. We'll talk about that. Coming out on the 25th on Tuesday, Batman Nightfall Part 1. Also coming out that day, Motor City with Alan Richardson coming out that day as well. And that's it for this week, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching our reels. We got quite a bit last week, but I posted a lot. I think we got over like almost 20,000, but who's counting except for me? Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you, talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you wanna be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest news and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb, we're here to entertain.